Good afternoon, everyone. We are back. I really missed y'all last week, and I really missed playing RCT. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I have not played it since last time we played it on stream. Um, I've been playing other things. I've been working on my March Caprice video, and I really just haven't picked up coastering because normally when I'm at this desk, I'm either doing the job that I'm paid to do, my full-time job, or I am working on that MC video. So, I have not played this. No need to assure y'all that I haven't touched the stream file. I haven't touched any file since last time. I hope you're doing great. I'm excited to be back. I had a wonderful anniversary weekend last weekend. I'm excited to be back streaming. So let's see what we've got here. Um, Dinky Park would be... I know it's in here. That's not it. There you are. We'll just pick up right where we left off. So I need to refresh myself with, like, what the goal even is of this scenario. Let's see. Our goal is to have a park value of 100K by the end of year 2. Now, that does not leave us very much time, so what have we got? Okay, 109. But I do know that we're going to have to keep expanding to keep it there. So, I did not turn on early scenario completion because that's no fun. We have been building this multi-layered park. We've got the arrow going up, which is good, but I imagine our chief concern is cash. And so because we have plenty of money now, I'm thinking now that we're getting towards the end of the scenario, we're going to flip. So, right now we are currently not charging for the entrance because we are charging for rides. Now, I would like, you know what? We're probably charging too much for some rides anyway. So, free. Let's just go ahead and make them all free as we're warming up here today. And I remember how to play the game. 0 people on rides is usually a pretty good giveaway that we're charging too much. Now we have all the money we could possibly need. So, let's just drop all that down and start charging for the entrance instead. But I'm gonna drop everything down in here first, because otherwise even fewer people will ride my rides until I manage to get this all reset to 0. I hope you're all doing well as well. I know February can be a bit of a strange month. Um, it's a fast one too, and by the end of the month, I will have. Um, by the end of the month, my March Caprice video is going to be done. And when more people come in, I will talk a little bit more about that. But for now, here we go. More people are riding our rides already. Change that to 0. Yeah, we did. More people are getting on our rides already. Good. I'm gonna pull up my OBS real quick and make sure I'm actually in the frame. Yeah, there we go. Sometimes I move my chair around a little bit. I want to make sure that y'all can see me. I did raise the monitor up a little bit, so the angle's probably slightly different than y'all are used to. Why nobody's on this ride? Is it because they can't reach it? Like, what gives? Try that. Because I have done that on accident before. I've made it to where nobody can reach a ride. And in fact, that is the case. Do y'all see it? It's right there. We accidentally built a fountain right there. There. Now people can ride. Okay, okay. Okay. And now we're gonna charge 20 for the entrance. Okay. 111. We're kind of plateauing here. So let's build something else. Let's see what we've got access to. We have such short time before the scenario actually closes. I think we might get away with it. I do. I really do. Bumper cars. Excellent. Okay. Let's build some of those, maybe. Question is, where are they going? I think they might go above the coaster we built last time. I think that makes the most sense. If we can build them that high. Too high for supports. Okay? But if there's other things over... That's right. Okay, I learned this last time. It's too high for supports, but if there are enough things underneath it, it can kind of act as the supports, right? So... Like, this is showing us here. We can do that if we wanted to. If there's other rides, sometimes you can go on top of those. Try not to lean forward because my neck and my back and other things have been hurting because of my work on my MC video because I keep leaning like towards the screen. I'm not gonna do that. I can build them here. I just don't know how I'd connect them. There you go. Said that like nominee. I don't know how I'd connect them. Let's try to figure this one out, gamers. Okay. See-through supports. Sure. Cool. They can come right back here. Okay. Okay. I have an idea. So, we're also gonna have to get, like, creative about the queue line. Yeah, I was afraid of this. Okay. I was afraid that we wouldn't be able to have a queue line at all, which might actually be fine. This might actually be okay, because otherwise I think if we made a queue line, it would be far too long. What do you mean the grapefruit tune is in the way? What are you saying to me? Okay. Oh. We're gonna have to go under? We're gonna have to go down? Okay. That worked. How are we gonna connect it to the main path? I do have a thought. Hold on. Not see-through, I want height marks on paths. I have a thought. So I either need to go underground and, like, make it pop up right there, but I don't think I'll be able to move the land because of the grapefruit tune. I could make the spiral slide queue line shorter. It's also a thought. Let's try that. Spiral slide doesn't need that long of a queue line. There we go. Yep. Alright. Connected it. Now, this also means that, technically, Bumper Cars doesn't have a queue line. I think that's alright. Let's open it. Great Fortuna's broken down. Is there a mechanic on the case? Yep. Okay. We get a new handyman right there. One. Oh man, there's an unmanned path. We got money. I can man that path. Right here at the entrance. We don't want our park rating to get any lower than it is. It's looking good right now, but it's just those 4 squares. I think you can handle that. We're gonna put some benches and bins over here. It did increase my soft guest cap to a bit higher than it is, so we're doing good. This is a park value goal, so the guest cap obviously isn't going to matter as much, but I think it's alright. Okay. Good. I just got a notification that the pre-rolls are disabled for y'all for the next hour, so come on in. I apologize if I miss your message. I am routinely kicked out of my own chat room, and so it keeps saying, welcome to chat room, welcome to chat room. It's like, no, I own the chat room. It dropped? Oh no, gamers. Okay. What is making it drop? Crowding. Already got a park map. I'm just gonna go to OBS, see if I have any. No, I do not. So if any of y'all came in and said something to me, scoot over so I'm more in frame. I want to make sure that I see it. There we go. Okay, park value dropped right here at the end. That's a problem. Okay, it's right at 100. Damn, this is gonna be close, gamers. Okay. I wonder, how can we address this? Ooh, that's a gross little chunk right there. You know what? You can be a freelancer. Why don't you take care of that? Yep. Great. Okay. 101. Okay, it's rebounding. All right. The dinghy slide. Do we have space for that? Does even drop even fit in our park? Oh, footpath in the way? Oh, yeah? Slogger's Revenge fit in our park? Hmm. Okay. Doing good, doing good, doing good. Hard value? Yeah, okay. We're gonna have to build something else. But what? We're gonna have some diminishing returns here. Maybe I should have my OBS pulled up because then I can see more of the chat. Ad should have just ended. Let's pause. Pull up the OBS. Because I see more of y'all are coming in. Hello, Allie. Welcome. I'm trying to have it zoomed into the chat on OBS side. There we go. On my OBS side. Because then I can actually see it. Because on Twitch side, if I have the stream manager open, um, it's like connecting to chat, connecting to chat. Hello, Gotham. Welcome in. This park is a little bit cramped. But that's kind of the goal. And I wanted to give myself the additional side goal of seeing if we can clear this mission without actually buying any more land. Um, which you can do, and we have the money to do. But I want to see if we can. So, if we go here, current value, 101, but it is stagnating, and we need 100,000 by the end of October. Did not turn on early scenario completion because if I had, we'd be done. So, too high for supports. Yeah, I figured. All right. Can I? The ride doesn't need to have good stats, does it? You know what? Maybe I can build the chairlift of my dreams, and that might increase the park value a little bit. Um, Question is, where do I want the stations? Um, see, because where I want the stations is going to determine the entire setup. I think I could connect it here, like on these two path pieces. So let's go up. First of all, height mark on right tracks, please. Okay. And then also a height mark on paths. I'm gonna save right now while we are clearing the scenario with the park exactly the way that it is. Um, just in case we mess up in these next 2 months. Height marks on land. No, not height marks on land. Height marks on right tracks. Height marks on paths. Now, let's try. Because we're not too sure. So we're gonna try it. There does need to be room for me to get back to the station. Problem. We have a giant Ferris wheel in the way. um, let's see. I wonder if we go like this way and just like over it. That's 30. Okay. 1, 2. Okay. Up. Nope. We have to turn like immediately. Yep, I thought so. So, okay. Um, why don't we... Hmm. Station only needs to be too long, I think. Can I build over trees? Yes, I can build over trees. Um, but I also want the station to be in a place where I can very easily build um entrance and exit paths. Is what I'm more concerned about. I'm more concerned about running out of space to do that. And you also can't turn while you're going up, which sucks. Yep. Well, darling, if you're watching, the Great Fortune is never in the way, according to me. Um, at least in terms of building this chairlift, we're having a bit of trouble. Okay, park value 102. That's a decent place for it to stagnate, but I feel like it's going to drop unless we could refurbish all of our rides as a last ditch, you know, guaranteed win method. We could do that. Quick, let me configure my setup over here just to be sure we are all good. I keep twisting myself. There we go. I'm really trying to be concerned about my posture because, like I said, I'm working on that MC project. I've been having really bad posture. um, and it's been catching up with me. I'm not old. I do not think that I'm old, but now and then I'm reminded that I'm, no longer in my 20s. Um, and hold on, I need to get that path cleaned up. Um, I'm no longer in my 20s, and I need to be careful about things like stretching and posture and in a way that I didn't need to back then. Um, I've been riding, yeah, it is going down. So, um, I have been riding the heck out of my Peloton. I just did a really long ride this morning, 45 minutes. Um, they called it the Super something because today's the Super Bowl. Was it just Super Bike, Super Ride, maybe? Um, Alternative solution. Build the chairlift way the fuck higher than I need it, and then worry about the pads later. That's my alternative solution, because you can go really high with these things. Um, something, something. I was really high the other day. Was. Okay. Those paths are at 55 and this is at 60. This might actually be doable. We're gonna turn it the other way though. Yeah, this way. Oh, I liked 60 better. I think 55 is gonna get tough with the roller coasters. We'll go 70. We'll work it out. And then we're just gonna... All we need to do is just make sure people can access it. That's all we gotta do. Um, so there has to be at least 2 stations that people can access. And that's all! Oops. Okay. This is gonna get a little bit... Yeah, let's turn off the supports. Make our view a little clearer. Okay. And where do we put the second station? Is the second question. Um, is there room towards the entrance? There is, if I'm really clever. Okay. Okay, that's our goal. So we're gonna get over there. Ah. We do not clear the haunted house, so let's go around it. We clear just about everything else. Gotta go down a little bit to kind of start making our way towards, a station. I'm really doing my best here, gamers. This is gonna be wild. The good news is I don't have to make it connect. Okay, I don't. I just have to make it. Over? Over? Damn. I was trying to like ease my way down. I don't think that's gonna work though. Cause yeah, I'm running right into my second tier. Um okay. What to do? We made it over a lot. So now can we go down? Nope, one more. I have a thought. Yeah, I know, land on a water park. Um, you know what? I'm making this a station. Right here at 70 feet. Okay, so the ride is technically built. Um, but getting people to access it is going to be a little bit tricky. Let's see. Where are our sight lines here? We just kind of want to go that way, yeah? So this'll do, and this'll do, and then over here we've got the station right there. We do not want to build it on this side because the park doesn't own that land. Ooh, we might be fucked. Hold on. Back into construction mode, baby. Um, ooh. I just realized that, like, with building the entrance and exit there, it's not gonna be pleasant. Um, I think keep it where it is. Build a station. And then just build, like, a really high and, like, winding path that comes up here. That's because if I can land it, like, here, then they can get on and climb up. That's my plan. Will it work? Stick around. Okay. Let's make sure that this didn't, like, kill our park value. It didn't really do a lot for it, but, it didn't go down, and that's where we are right now. Okay. Okay. Down. Safest park in the country. Not immediately after I crashed a coaster, which is what happened last time we won that award. Which also means we finally got one for our counter. That would be here. We're gonna go 0 to 1. There we go. Okay. This is gonna challenge every ounce of my building knowledge. What I don't want to happen is what I'm afraid will happen if I continue down this track, which is that. Okay. Not you. Here. Yep. Okay. It needs to go down somehow. I have another thought, but I think the Ferris wheel's in the way. You're getting to see me stretch all my creative muscles here, gamers. Can we go down literally any? Nope. Can we go down now? Nope. Can we go down now? Huh? Yep. Okay, height marks on paths. Quite a bit higher than I need to be. This is 50 though, yeah? So if I go like this, not that. If I go like that. What is in the way? The coaster. Nope, and then the exit's in the way. Right entrance in the way. Fuck! Okay. We're gonna do this, gamers. Alright? Park value is at 108, alright? It did boost our park value. I just need people to be able to access this shit. What if I work backwards? Nope. Nope. Go from here, maybe? Like, what if I work my way backwards and try to come up and meet the ride where it is? This is often my solution in life, also, gamers, is that if there's a problem that I cannot solve, I usually try to come at it from the other side. And look at that! That got us our solution. Give you a bit of a queue line here. There we go. Okay, that's one entrance handled. Let's make sure that we get a handyman up on that. That I don't forget. In fact, we'll assign you up here, my little freelancer. Just put them all over the path we just built. There we go. Okay, and now we need to build a path to the other entrance, which I'm hoping is considerably easier. So, now... There's the paths. Thank you, that will help. If I immediately build it straight down, I'm going to have nowhere to connect the queue path without it being absurdly long. So, sacrifice one tile. I thought that might happen. Yep. Okay. Cannot build over the ride. I was afraid of this. If we come at it from here, can we do it? Or probably not. It's probably the same height restriction. Yeah, okay. Okay, we're going to put the ramp in a different place. It's gonna be here. Okay, that's the height we need it to be. Okay, so now, let's get that path there. Nah. Okay. New plan. We're gonna come around the back. Come around that drop. How exciting would that be for you as a... There we go. How exciting would that be for you as a park goer? You know, you come up here and... Okay. We're gonna go ahead and open the ride. But... We're going to assign a handyman up here also. We're ignoring all the other things because those are on lower levels. These patrol areas are assigned vertically, and we just need to make sure that our guy can hit this path. And he can. And we're going to get some scenery on that path. I hope we don't need to worry about it breaking down because we are about to clear the scenario. Look at that. Let's do a nice little zoom out of the park and just kind of watch it operate. Look at all these crazy layers we've got here. Might as well build like another bathroom up here, maybe. If I can. There. Might as well. Can people get in there? Yes, they can. Alright. They can if they need it. Yep, it's right there. And look at this! We're about to clear it! Go us! Look at that! Park with the best toilet facilities. We got an award right when we finished. Let's go ahead and just add that real quick, just for posterity. Okay. We're gonna call it Dinky Silestrum. Perfection. That wasn't so bad. We didn't even need to buy any land. And look at all those balloons. Everyone's celebrating. Not a half bad park, gamers. All right. We have at least 3 tiers to this park. We really challenged ourselves to make it compact and vertical. You know, I would love... I didn't do this off stream because I wanted our name to be in the scenario chart. But I am curious as to if I do buy all the available land, like off stream, and create like a hyper compact park. But we sure did it, gamers. So let's see what new scenario we want to try. Completion of Dinky Park unlocked Millennium Mines, which I've never done in my life. I'm still afraid of Evergreen Gardens. I'm going to tackle that one off stream. I'm not confident enough in my skills for that one. Let's see. Whispering Cliffs is also kind of scary. I don't like the... Hey, Barnabas, welcome in! We are not. I can show you Cornbirdia, though, while we're thinking of a new scenario. We did clear the scenario in Cornbirdia. There we go. So this is what Cornbirdia ended up looking like. We've got this titular lake. You've got the gender transer, which did suffer a horrible crash. We've got Jack's jetpack back here. I built a go-kart track right as the scenario cleared. That's a bit ominous. Yeah, it is. Um, this coaster did crash. We let it get into a state of disrepair where it crashed. Um, but we smashed the goal because the goal was to have um, 500 guests by the end of year 3. It's year 4 because I ended up enjoying that. Obviously, it's year 4 because it actually rolls over at the end of October. It rolls over back into March. So we smashed the scenario goal. We had more than double the required guests. And then, just now, we finished Dinky Park, which we needed a park value of 100,000, and the challenge with this one is you don't have very much land. So we built these 2 custom coasters ourselves. I just built this chain lift right here at the end to kind of boost that, boost it all the way to what we needed it to be. And so we ultimately had a park value of, well, now it's less, which is funny, but it was about 107, 108 when we finished, which is all we needed. And so now we're trying to choose a new scenario to take on together. All the balloons are floating away. Yeah, it's because the guests clap and cheer for you and drop their balloons when you clear the scenario. They will all go buy new balloons, I'm sure. Let's see what we would like to do here. I've really enjoyed these Time Twister levels, in case y'all can't tell. But I really kind of tell them to stop that. We do have Woodstock, which is very similar in theme to our Rock and Roll Revival that we did. Woodstock, a large annual music festival takes place on your land. Build a hip theme park to keep the free-spirited audience entertained. But it's listed as an expert park. Exactly, like the hippie festival. We'll take a look at it. I'm not committing to it yet. I just want to see it. Because 1,500 at the end of year 2 is crazy, given that we start from nothing. I can see why this is listed as an expert park. Thanks for clapping. That's kind of dumb. At least I get more money. Yeah, it's true. I do get more money when they get a new balloon. So this one's a possibility. I've never done any expert parks, I gotta say, like in my entire life. Oh, sorry, we didn't look. I'm sure it is. Is it this one? This cool pink convertible? If that's the case, then yeah, it's here. Yep, there you are. You showed up to Woodstock also, Allie, so it's a possibility. But expert parks are not that for no reason. For example, this one, you own an empty lot near the low-rise part of town. To squeeze the most out of your urban property, build a skyscraper theme park inspired by the soaring Art Deco architecture of the 20s. To have at least 1,100 guests in your park, but here's the catch. You must not let your park rating drop below 700 at any time. So what this means, a lot of the later scenarios are going to have this as a goal. What this means is that there is no time limit. It's also Woodstock back in good old 69, all the Werther's emojis. The thing about these scenarios is what makes them hard is that you have to maintain a good quality park. And so there is no time limit like we've been experiencing with the other ones. It's like, oh, by the end of whatever. It's by the end of whatever, right? And so you have a time limit. This one has no time limit, but if your park rating is below 700 for a period of a month, you do fail the scenario. And it'll say you have not met your objective, and your park gets closed down. And I don't want that to happen. But I will say, some of these Wacky Worlds expansions gamers are extremely unfortunate. For example, we don't or you shouldn't call it that anymore. And you inherit a disused diamond mine and find a valuable diamond. You use that to build a world famous theme park. Want to inherit any mines? Okay, I really don't. This one especially. You have to build a park on limited land on either side of this national treasure. You do have the opportunity to buy neighboring land from the Native Americans. You need to complete the objective to sustain the local town's population. Oh, it's pretty unfortunate. That's pretty product of when this game was originally made, and that's kind of why I've been avoiding these scenarios. I'm like, I don't like any of the implications there. Money is no object, um, which is tempting. Okay. So the way this works is that if you only own Roller Coaster Tycoon 1, these three categories are probably the only thing that are appearing for you. If you own RCT2, you get access to the rest of these. But the way the game was originally released is that these just are the Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 scenarios, and these just are the Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 scenarios. But eventually, it was kind of like DLC before DLC, because it was just a new disc, that you could get that had these like extras on it. And so I've clearly been enjoying these corkscrew follies. Jolly Jungle, Hydro Hills. Um, let's see. I didn't really think ahead, like I told y'all at the beginning. I have not played this game since last stream, and so I haven't really been thinking about which ones I wanted to save for us trying here together. Local members of the Battle Reenactment Society are rather... It's like a graphical glitch, I think. Like, or is there something on my monitor? Oh, there's just something on my monitor. I thought it said Ratner, but there was like a little piece of dust on my monitor. They are rather serious about their hobby. They've entrusted you with the job of constructing a Dark Age theme park on the grounds of Cliffside Castle. 1,500, not drop below 7? Ugh. That's scary. I don't know. That's scary. And I'm not good enough for any of these. Like, these goals are crazy. I am not well practiced enough yet. Let's see. Dusty Greens, situated near a highway junction in the desert. Dusty Greens is an opportunity to develop a small golf resort into a thriving theme park. To achieve monthly income from ride tickets of at least 5,000. You know, this is fairly easy for us to take on, because then we use the plugin and we do it. But I don't want to do something easy with y'all, right? I want to do something fairly challenging here together. That one I could easily do off-screen in like 20 minutes, because all I would have to do is charge the maximum. I would just need to build some high-value rides, and then charge the maximum ticket price for those, easily clear the scenario. And that's not really good stream content. Loopy landscapes, arid heights, free of any financial limits. Your challenge is to develop this desert park while keeping the guests happy. To have 2,000 guests in your park, you must not let the... Why is this a beginner park? Huh? That's crazy. Is anything striking any of y'all's fancy? Or rather, are there any of them y'all would like me to click on and we can explore together so we can see what we're working with? Or... Diamond Heights is a beginner scenario. I am open to audience suggestion. This one also has unlimited funds, but it again has the caveat of don't drop below 700. Here's what Arid Heights looks like. It's literally just a desert, with like a couple of oasis areas, but we literally do not have to worry about money, which is nice. Which means we can build like a lot of big ticket stuff if we really want to. Ooh, riders ride in standing position. That's no. I think you have a month to get it to 700, and then you can't let it drop after that. I think is how it works. So this is what Arid Heights looks like if we wanted to do that. Volcania, a dormant volcano, is the setting of this coaster building challenge. Ooh. To finish building all 5 of the partially built roller coasters in the park, designing them to achieve excitement ratings of 6.7 each. Okay, so this one is just going to force you to get going at coaster building. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, they sure are partially built. Um, hold on, let's do this. Okay. I feel like the land would make this a bit of a challenge, and the paths are terrible. Let's see. I apologize, I did not think ahead for what scenario I would want to tackle next. Um, what does Metropolis look like? Is it another, like, kinda compact park? Kinda. Um, are these, like, functioning paths that the guests can walk on? That's cool. Unless these are roads and, like, we're just building around the roads. A lot of all this is outside. This is just window dressing. This is all outside of my park area. Um, so I do have to worry about money, but there is no time limit. So, this is a thought. Or we can stick to the classic scenarios and just keep going down the list. Um, Diamond Heights could be fun. I don't think I've ever done this scenario in my life. Um, Diamond Heights is already a successful theme park with great rides. Develop it to double its value. To achieve. Oh, and I've already got not very much money. Um, to achieve a park value of at least 200,000. I want to show y'all something that has been added to Open RCT. I don't know if we're gonna do this scenario or not, but I do want to show y'all. I'm trying to find a good place to do it. Oh, this park's a little gross. Okay. Um, trying to find a good place to do it and show off this feature. Um, so we're gonna build a path up here for the railroad track, and then guess what? We're gonna cross the railroad track. So guests will treat this as a valid railroad crossing now, which is nuts. So that feature is entirely new to Open RCT. And so if a train is coming through, the guests will stop and they will wait for it to pass, and then they will go, which is really really neat. Let's see, not Evergreen Gardens. I'm not embarrassing myself in front of y'all. Um, hmm, Infernal Views, Dusty Greens. That's such a long time goal. See, I just don't like this path network that you start with. I'll choose one eventually, gamers. Hang in there. I think we can do it. We have 1 year longer than we did on Dinky Park, and we have a lot more land. I think we can do it. So, first, let's see if we're charging for the entrance or rides. Rides. Okay, that's all right. Um, we don't have very many staff, so that's gonna be our first problem. Is we need to get this park cleaned up. I was noticing it when I was looking at it earlier. Oh, now that I've chosen a scenario, let me change my thing and make sure that it is fine. Um, that would be here. Diamond Heights, and then it's gonna go out of the box, so we gotta like move it into the box. Does that look all right? Yeah, I think so. And we gotta reset our award counter. Cool. here we go. I'm okay. I'm gonna make y'all lesbian colors this time. So our handymen are going to be orange, and our mechanics are going to be pink. For now. I can always change it. We do not have a whole lot of money, so we're gonna loan some money to start with. I'll pay it back eventually, but I am gonna want to hire quite a few staff members to get everything shipshape here. So we are just going to look at this existing network, and we are going to not see through scenery. Oh, okay. This is also a very recent thing that OpenRCT just added. So it used to be that you had to like click and hold this menu, and if you didn't, it would just automatically go to Underground Inside View because it's the first option. Now I can click it, not holding anything, and now I can click what I want to, which is such a good like quality of life um edit, and I really appreciate it. So first, we're gonna get this guy. So how do you win in this game? Great question. So, the reason I hemmed and hawed about choosing a scenario is that this is kind of how you win. So, every scenario, so you saw me pull up a bunch of different ones, is going to present you with an objective of some kind. Um, and you, in layman's terms, you win by clearing that objective. So, for example, the goal of this scenario is I need to have a 200,000 park value at the end of October year 3. And so we need to increase our current park value. Right now it's sitting at about 120, and so it wants us to improve it by 80. Now here's the thing, park value both goes up and down because it will depreciate with the value of your rides, for example. So it goes up and down. So you really can't just build a very good park and then let it sit there. You're gonna have to like constantly maintain the park. And so one of the first things I'm doing is I am hiring an army of handymen to keep up with the gross paths that we've got going on right now. So I'm hiring more handymen and I'm giving them defined patrol areas so that they can help keep my park clean. I think that's step one. Step two is probably going to be a little bit cheesy with OpenRCT, but we are going to probably refurbish a lot of our rides if we have the money to do so. That's going to give us like a pretty instant park value boost. Uh, that's right. You know, my faithful army of handymen. Um, they're coming. They're coming, and their mission is to keep our park clean. So I'm just doing this with the existing path network. Obviously, I will edit as we get more. I don't actually. But I know, not very. It's also not very that, despite some of the guests having, you know, women's names, um, oh, see, I've never seen it. But despite some of the guests clearly having women's names, they all have the same sprite model, which unfortunately, y'all may have noticed, also includes their race, which again is just another unfortunate product of when this game was made, that we weren't really thinking about things like that like we should have been all along. And so all the guests appear to look like little white men, unfortunately. Um, and I hate that because that's not very realistic. They do wear unisex uniforms. It's true, your staff members do. Um, but your guests are all going to look a little bit very similar. So we're going to do that, and we're also going to, these two roller coasters right here, these dueling roller coasters that are synchronized, which the park already comes with, which is really cool, are extremely famous for crashing, and so one of the things that I want to do with our starting money is I want to refurbish them so that that is far less likely to occur. Okay, we'll have you go around. I'm guessing right there, right there, right there. There's paths underneath that, yep. Okay. This can be your little spot. Almost there, almost done with our army of handymen, at least in terms for the paths of how they currently exist. Again, we might make improvements to the pathing network, but I wanted to get the park cleaned up for now because that's going to be good for our park rating. Go inside, just to make sure we're hitting all these squares of the path. Yeah, we are. Okay. You can be there, and then... I think we have like one little area back here that is the exit for this ride that I figured is going to get a little bit dirty. These coasters are called agoraphobia and claustrophobia, respectively. All right, we need to get on that. Where is my only mechanic? Where are you? Are you there? Okay. Second order of business is to refurbish these rides. Third order of business is to get our mechanics in gear. Get your asses in gear, mechanics. So, see what our guests' chief concerns are. I'm hungry. Indiana Jane Railroad. Okay, okay. Wait, if y'all are hungry, are there like... Oh, did I not assign a handyman over here? Oopsie daisy. You know how it's like 3 degrees F here? I went to get a coffee today and I ran into a lady that was wearing a sundress. Jesus Christ. No hat, no coat. Jeez. That could not be me. Could not be me. I am a baby. I hate the cold. Guess they're hungry. I don't understand. There are multiple problems with my park right now, game. um... That's crazy that she went out in like a sundress with like no, presumably no like leggings underneath it or like just anything like that. Shorts and sandals, no socks. People are wild. It could not be me. All right, it gets below 60 degrees in sunny SoCal, and I'm cooked. The moment it gets below 60, I'm cooked. What are you doing, handyman? Okay. He didn't like that. Okay. I think before I refurbish all my rides, I'm going to get some food for our guests. Okay, so now our army of handymen are on the case. Now we need to have some stalls so that guests can buy food. Um, um, I'm not as sensitive to the heat as some people are. I do not mind the heat. We're going to do our $20 umbrellas, our classic money-making strategy. Okay, open for business. We're also going to drop some stalls. Let's get some pizza in here. We do not have any drinks. The heat never bothered me anyway, it's true. I'm also noticing a distinctive lack of, like, bins, which is going to be a huge problem now that we're actually selling food. So, let's just kind of throw some bins in here so that we have benches, which is great, but we're also going to need some bins for guests to throw away their trash, because otherwise they'll throw it on the ground like little heathens. There's a few bins, but not nearly enough to keep up with demand. So we're kind of plopping them everywhere. Um, right now, I'm taking the existing park infrastructure and I'm trying to improve it a little bit before I start expanding the park because we have time. And usually, when you're handed a functioning park in this game as part of a scenario, you are deliberately handed a park that has problems. So this park does have a couple of problems. One of them being that for some godforsaken reason, there's no food stalls. So we are fixing that. Um, that'll do for now. If I notice it becoming a problem, I'll drop some more down. Okay, there's some food here in the front of the park. Let's go a little ways back. Here, maybe. And put another bathroom, food stall, so that the guests don't have to walk, the entire length of the park to get some food. Okay, let's go over here, I think is another good spot. This is why I took out some money to start with, because I knew we would need to make a couple of infrastructure improvements. We'll go ahead and put some back here too, near our big attractions. Aw, thanks so much. You know, I'm doing pretty good today. I took a nice long ride on my Peloton this morning. I'm so glad that I made that purchase. Oh, and we just got a drink stall. Excellent. So we will drop down drink stalls too, and we're dropping down these food stalls, and things should start to pick up around here. Basically dropping bathroom, food, drink in several areas of the park. Those things are awesome, yeah. It was certainly not cheap. I took advantage of the New Year's sale. But we had been saving up for one anyway, and we just kind of went for it. Fruit Tunes tried it too. I definitely know that I'm the one that's going to be like obsessed with it, but it's good for both of us, and it helps us get some movement. Um, I'm already obsessed with it. I think I ride it probably 3 or 4 times a week since I've gotten it. Um, some of the rides are really hard. What I like about Peloton is that you can make it as easier. One, you can make it as easy or hard as you want to. But two, there are also classes that are designed to be like easier and harder. So they can kind of meet you where you're at in terms of your current fitness level. And I appreciate that because I am someone who is in pretty good shape. And I know not everyone is, and I know that exercise can be like daunting to a lot of people. And when people ask me for advice, I tell them the same thing, which is that you have to find something that you will do and that works for you. So there is no one magic bullet. You know, for some reason, and me too. You know, y'all know how long I've been wanting that. But for whatever reason, the thing that tends to be proposed, like when somebody's like, oh, I want to get into exercise, what should I do? The thing that people will invariably say is running, which, like, okay, I am not here to diss runners, okay? I could not be y'all, mad respect for y'all. Seriously, I could not do it. My mom is a runner, and I have never personally understood it myself. I do not like running. I just don't. And a lot of people don't, and I think that's okay. Um, yeah, we are going to we're gonna close and reopen this baby. Um, I know it's gonna piss y'all off. I know. But we are gonna refurbish this baby. It's gonna cost almost all of our money, but it's worth it. It's gonna give us a lot of park value too. Um, we will wait until we have more money to do that again. Um, but that also should have given us a giant boost to our park value, or it's about to. Park value is, you know, dropping a little bit because we're not really expanding. Um, it's a very fast way to discourage new people, and especially, and I will say it, if you're trying to get, you know, as a random example, an overweight person or somebody who's not in great physical shape into exercise. Notice how I said or, not and. That's a mutually exclusive statement. We are not fat phobic here on the Sill channel. That's the fastest way to get banned around here. I'm just gonna be transparent about that. Um, but um I think if you are someone who is heavier or does not have a very high fitness level, I think running is especially going to be counterproductive because you're going to hate it. You're going to feel like you want to die the entire time. You'll probably throw up if you're not properly trained. And I really hate that that is like I guess I that probably, if I'm being generous, that probably is why it is recommended to new people so often. That would be my guess. Um but I think that, well, one of the lower impact exercises, and one of the reasons I enjoy doing it, is cycling. And so it could be a lower impact exercise for someone who, you know, doesn't have very good knees, for example. Raise your hand. And um and now I'm not saying that my way works for everyone, all right? There's going to be people out there that are going to be like, I fucking hate cycling. I can't believe that you would suggest that. XYZ. And that's completely fine. Um, yep, that's going to make our park value skyrocket now that that coaster is being treated as brand new. Um, but I have a bone to pick with a lot of people who, you know, they see their friends and their friends are like, hey, I want to get into exercising, what I should do, and people are like, oh, running. but then, like, they don't tell people how to train. And again, for the millionth time, no shade to runners. I could not do what y'all do. I mean that. It's is he stuck? Hold on. Yeah, it can be easy to overdo it on cycling. Yeah, and so it's one of the reasons I one of the reasons I'm liking Peloton is that is discouraged, right? Like there are rests built into the exercises. There are just straight up easier exercises, both in terms of time and in terms of like impact. You've got easier things that you can do. Um, and I really like that. Okay, now we're gonna get our mechanics in shape. We're whipping our mechanics into shape. Oh man, they have patrol areas. They are just huge. Okay, dude. Okay. We are deleting your entire patrol area. We're redoing it. Okay. We can have you look after these coasters. That's not a problem, dude. Okay, we're going to do see through vegetation again, which will help. Okay. Absolutely, dude. Okay. Um, but in general, the message is this. The message that Syl would like you to take away from it, as someone who is in great shape, and is also someone who many people would consider to be overweight. It's all muscle, baby. And even if it wasn't, doesn't mean I should not be treated like a human person. Um, but let's not want your takeaway is this. If you find anything that is getting you movement and you like it, do it. Think that's I think just movement and joy and the stress relief that exercising can provide, all of that is going to far outweigh, whatever potential results that whatever potential influencer may be trying to sell you. Um, in my experience in life. Is this guy assigned now and he can't leave the assigned area? Fuck me. I'm just gonna pick him up and prod him back down. Because now the other guy should get called. Um, Where is Doppelganger exactly? I didn't name these rides, so I don't know where they all are. Um, Doppelganger. It. Ah, duh. Come here, bud. There you go. Now you'll get the radio call, and you'll fix it. Okay. I knew this would easily be the second problem we needed to tackle. Is our mechanics. I think from any credible source I've heard, so, not somebody who's trying to sell you something, but somebody who's actually trying to help you, any credible source I have heard says that movement and something that you will stick with is far more important than, um, any kind of program that you may be sold or, that sort of thing. Because the big problem that people have is I think they end up feeling like demotivated by particular programs or when they don't see particular results. I'll get to that next. Thank you for letting me know. Guests are complaining about the lengths of queues in your park. Consider shortening problematic queues or increasing the ride's throughput. So yeah, I noticed that these what's the word? These train queues are far too long. You know what? I think a different mechanic is going to go back there because I am going to expand back there. So we're going to get a different guy right there. Put the ride visibility back on. And he is going to just be up here. I don't need you to be doing that. Okay. Arachnophobia broken down, but he's responding. Good. That's right, because I redid his patrol area, so now he's the guy. He is the guy, he is capable of being the guy. Let's make sure that he actually gets there and that I set up these paths correctly. Oh, this is the old guy. He is getting there, but I am going to turn off his patrol area once he gets there. Yep. Okay. That's too big. That's too big, dude. Cancel patrol area. Okay, now we're going to set it. Oop. Part of the problem is that rides are really far apart in this park. So this guy just has like a lot of area to wander. But this is how I'm going to do it for now, I think. No, actually. I take it back. I always want mechanics to be close to the action. Not doing that for that guy, we're hiring another. Some people would balk at the amount of staff that I hire. Who named all these rides? They're all for phobias? Yeah, I don't really know. My park just kind of came like this when I booted up the scenario. Leaving him there for now. A twist is available. Okay, cool. We'll build one soon. I'm almost done. Okay, there's 2 rides here. And then I will make sure that every ride has a mechanic that is dedicated to its smooth operation. And that should be alright. Okay. Short stuffs slide. That's right. Because back when he did have that... Okay, so now I need to do this or he's going to walk forever. So, I just need to pick him up and put him back down to cancel his task. There we go. Okay, and then the mechanic who's actually assigned here will take it over. Yep, good. Should put you down, right? Now he's going back to his area. He'll be alright, I think. Yep, okay. Staff is in order. Paths are in order. We've actually got places to eat, so our park rating went up. Okay. Pay back some of that loan. Park value 131. Okay, it actually did go up as a result of our efforts. Good. So now, when we have enough money, we'll do the other one. We probably do have enough money to do this one. So, yeah, we probably do have enough money to do this one. Yep, and then reopen. We don't want to do too many of these at once because then guests are going to get pissed off that they don't have anything to ride. I have a question about this railroad. How many trains are in operation? Just 2? Okay. Pause. No, not right now. But okay. We're gonna have more trains operating. Thank you. 8 is the maximum. I am okay with this. And it's probably on wait for half load is fine, I guess. Where are all the trains right now? They probably all spawned at the first station. Yep. Okay, hold on. I changed my mind again. 8 might be too many. But I definitely needed more than 2. 5, maybe? Let's give that a shot. There. I know. Okay. Okay. So now we've done a lot of the upkeep that we wanted to do. This park is now in fighting shape, but I haven't really bought anything for it. And now we are in June. So let's, what do y'all think? Should we like buy stuff? What's our chief complaint? I feel sick, I'm not hungry. I've been queuing for Snake River Falls for ages. Okay, well, let's start there. Why is this queue so long? Oh, shit! Why is this queue so long? Way too long to be queuing for this ride. Also, it probably doesn't have nearly enough boats operating to meet with demand, so let's start there. 9. Okay, well, none of you are queuing for Snake Falls at all now, because I'm increasing the capacity. Let's try that, maybe. Okay. I know this is gonna very briefly overcrowd this area. Y'all aren't gonna like that. Um, but all right. We're also separately going to make the queue shorter. So, gotta do it. And then we're just gonna make sure to add to that handyman's area those spots we just created. Okay. Perfect. I'm still in problem solving mode. For the first, like, year-ish, you know, first few months, when I get a scenario, I enter problem solving mode, where I figure out what problems the park currently has, um, and try to do something about it. And doop, doop. That's an easy one. Some of the queue lines are. But yeah, when you're handed a park, sometimes it's going to have a number of issues. Um, Crowding might also be a problem. So I think we're going to need to start to build other pathways. Do we have like a boat hire that we can build? Um, we sure do. Okay. I think that's going to be my first addition to this park. I'm going to expand over here into the water. I'm going to give guests more paths to go on to help solve the overcrowding problem. We'll get a new handyman. Don't y'all even worry. Y'all know the drill. We're going to build a new path for guests to go on and connect back to the main area over here. I'm not sure if it needed to be this high. Go down a little bit. Oh, maybe it did. Okay. To get over that. Yep. Okay. Now we're just gonna go down, 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 down. Hitting the ride. Damn, we need to be one over. Got over the coaster. Still missed by one, huh? It's alright. Yeah. Okay. Then we got more place for guests to walk. Always a good thing. I just kind of stopgap solved the problem, but you know, eventually once we have more money and this place is really running like a well-oiled machine, um, I would love to have like proper food courts in here. Doesn't really do anything. There's no like in-game boost that you get for having a food court. Um, I just like it. And I think it looks nice. There, we got a guy to clean our new path. Oh, and it's raining, and y'all know what that means. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. I'll boat hire over here, I think. Take advantage of this beautiful lake that we're on. Something else I would like to do real quick is I would like to use the ride ticket price calculator, and I would like to see what we're charging. Agoraphobia, I think, is the one we refurbished. Yeah, it is. So I don't want to have to update it in 2 seconds, so let's just make it 840. We're actually undercharging for this ride. We need to make some money so that we can expand. Arachnophobia, we have not refurbished yet. So that'll be... Oh, we're crazy undercharging for this ride. But I also don't want to charge too much because then guests, this is a roller coaster tycoon 1 scenario, so guests will in fact run out of money. And so we don't want that to be the case either. We're still slightly undercharging for this one. Since we're not charging for the park entrance, guests will pay whatever the fuck we want them to pay for rides as long as it doesn't go over this kind of internal calculation that the game makes. How would you know? Typically, a good rule of thumb is $1 per excitement rating of the ride. Another manual way you can test this is that you can just keep charging and keep incrementing it by 10 cents until guests refuse to go on the ride because it's too expensive. But Marcel, who rated us last time, made this kind of ride ticket calculator plugin that does all of that work for you. And basically, he went into the game's code. Transport rides are always free, is my philosophy. He went into the game's code, and he was like, hey, what does the game actually, like, say about ride price and what guests will pay? And kind of worked it all out for us. Turns out we are undercharging for rides. Now, you'll notice I'm still not doing the maximum value that I can charge right now, again, because I don't want guests to run out of cash too quickly, but we are going to need a bit of starting capital. So our money should start to skyrocket starting from here. And with that, I'm also going to put some Q-line TVs on this ride in particular. It is kind of. So if you decide you want Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 also, in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, you can either charge for the ride or the park entrance or rides. In Roller Coaster Tycoon 1, which is what we're playing right now, you can do both. However, if you do both, um, guests will be willing to pay far less for your rides. And so if we went back into the ticket price calculator, which, by the way, Allie used specifically, I can show you how to install this if you want to. But if you charge for the park entrance, watch, it's going to cut these by a quarter. See? So guests are willing to pay far less for rides, or rather cut these to a quarter, I meant to say. So guests will be willing to pay far less for rides. Running out of cash is already a problem. So just because these guests have been in the park for a while. But since I took over as new management, park rating has been going up and up. Eventually, if like cash becomes a widespread concern, eventually I will charge for the park entrance instead. For now, since we need a little bit of money, I'm doing it this way. I very rarely charge for both. But in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, it will lock you. So, like, the menu will turn gray. So on the scenario that we did, and also Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 has a cash machine. So if you are in a scenario that lets you charge for rides, you never have to worry about money. Not really. At least not as much as you do in Roller Coaster Tycoon 1. So should I let the guests just kind of free roam? Because the guests are stupid. Do we have, like, scenario pieces, maybe, that we can just kind of, like, decoratively block off? Ooh, I like this idea. So we can, like, decoratively block off where we want them to be. We're gonna have to hold the shift key the entire time, but this could be fun. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to just build a station. I'm not going to build a track this time. I'm just going to build a station. And then on all sides of that station, I'm going to put fences so my guests can't get too lost. So there's my station. An entrance. Got an exit. Okay. We're going to go ahead and build paths to this ride, just so we know we can access the ride. And now we don't have to worry about mechanics actually repairing rides because we have redone it so that we're not going to open the ride just yet. What vehicles do we have access to? Oh, bumper boats, perfect. So first of all, we're going to build a no entry sign here. Boop, boop, boop. There. The guests don't enter the exit path. And then what we're going to do is we're going to first we're going to pay back a little more of our loan. See, look at that. We're not going to have to worry. I'm only going to charge, I think, for rides for maybe a year in game time. And then I'll probably kick it back. Let's see how our park value is actually doing. 135. Okay. So we needed to be 200 by the end of year 3. So we're doing all right. Now what we're going to do is we are going to build a fence. Just so our very, very not smart guests don't get themselves stuck. Because that can happen on the boat hire. Because the guests can just get themselves stuck. We want to give them, like, a little space to roam around, but we don't want to give them the entire damn lake, you know? Because then that's going to make the queue line take a really long time, and that's going to create all kinds of problems. Okay. I'm also gonna paint these fences different colors after I build it. For now, we're just building. Here we go. This side, please. No, actually. No fence, please. I'm actually going to do it as a continuation of the station. Yep. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. It can technically be built on both of the tile edges, which is like a very slight difference, but then it makes the fence look really bad if you don't line it up. Syl's tips and tricks for playing this game. We're just going to kind of give them a little box to play around in. Otherwise, apparently the way that this works, again, there's a Marcel video about this because there's a Marcel video about everything in this game. Apparently the way that it works is that guests just like choose random directions to go in. And so, you know, it is possible for them to just like go the entire length of the damn lake if you don't like limit it. And then everyone's gonna be like, I've been queuing for boat hire 1 for ages, right? We don't want that to happen to our lovely guests. They're dumb a little sometimes, but you know, I don't want bodily harm or death to come to them as a result of my park. And yes, these are ducks. The ducks are programmed to visit your park if you have like enough squares of water in your park. So we are enjoying these ducks. I feel like KH Guides right now enjoying the ducks. Duckcember was a lot of fun. So my MC video is coming along swimmingly. Obviously, I do plan to have it done by the end of the month because that's when it's due on the back end. For those of y'all who don't know, if you are a creator in March Caprice, you need to have your video done at the beginning of March. That gives the organizers time to review submissions, schedule, etc., etc. Didn't want that. We'll just do it the same way we did it on the other side. Just like this. So I have in my notes that I want to be done by February 28th, which is a day before it's due. In terms of adding footage to the video, mathematically speaking, I am 70% done with that process. So we're getting there. It is the longest video I've made to date. So that's cool. I imagine by the time everything is in there that I want it to be, including my intro and outro, I think it will be like 21 minutes, which is longer than previous year's entries have been, which is why I gave myself extra time to really get on that. It is Star Wars themed, since I have become a Star Wars fan this year, this last couple of years. Okay, that took a while, but also look how much money we have now. This is great. Okay, we're gonna open the ride. And its stats haven't been calculated yet, so for now, y'all are lucky. I'm only charging you $1. We're gonna call this Syl's box. Ride my boat hire, please. And thank you. See, now we're getting some money. Now, I don't know if I'll charge for ride tickets for too much longer, because this, yeah, is gonna start to be a problem. So, in fact, let's just go ahead and reverse that now. So, we're not turning that on yet. What we're going to do is we're going to make everything free first. Except for the 2 big ticket coasters. I'm actually going to keep charging for those. But everything else goes away. We just needed that capital. I do think a little bit like a capitalist when I play this game, unfortunately. You hate to see it. It's already free. And look at that, we drastically increased the number of people that are on the ride because we have more trains. Bill's box. I'll just be free for y'all. And then we are going to go here. We're going to charge for the entrance instead. Right now, I think we could probably justify if, but as a result, because we are now charging for the park entrance, guests will be willing to pay far less for individual rides. So let's ensure that we are accounting for that when we set the price of the rides. Just a little bit of extra money, because these are big ticket rides. What? No! Are y'all... Okay. Some of you made it out, but not all of you. And I really needed all of you to make it out. Okay. Okay. You're not stuck. Alright. We're gonna build the box, a one to the left, I guess. My various trials and tribulations with these guests. These are cute little boats. There's supposed to be 9 of them. I think a bunch of them... How did you get there? What? Hello? What? Okay. No. How did you get out of my box? Literally, how did you do that? Yeah, did you see that? Like, I had a complete fence. I had a fence so that that wouldn't happen. Okay. Okay. Reopen. All right. Try to get out of the box this time. You can't. Impossible. I also just saw that we gained access to a Ferris wheel. They shouldn't be able to. That's why I have it here. They should absolutely not be able to get through the fence. But let's watch these guys go and see what happens. Okay, good. I just want you to get near the fence so that I can see what happens. Good. Y'all got a nice big area to explore. And then they are coded to look for the shortest path to the station when they decide that they are done writing. So that should be fine. But this is what I wanted. I wanted all of you riding happily inside my enclosed area that I made to keep you safe. Oh, here it comes. Here comes the rain again. Okay, good. This seems to be working as intended now. I literally have no idea how that other guy got out. But we made it. And since this is me, it's gonna be purple. And of course, we're gonna make them all rainbow, of course. So that it's nice and colorful here in my park. We'll go dark blue for you, and then we'll go purple, and then pink, and then we're gonna do brown, I think. There we go. Lovely little guests. Box probably didn't need to be this big, but I gave y'all a little bit of freedom there. Let's see what our park value is looking like. Good, it went up. We could probably fully pay back our loan, so we don't have to worry about interest as an expense. It's also there if we just need it, if we want to do like a big ticket thing. I am in fact going to... The other big ticket item in this park, I am in fact going to renovate but we're using the ride ticket price calculator to reset the price of these because we are now charging for park entrance. So we're going to make these $2 each just to give us a little bit of extra money. And we are going to fully refurbish this second big coaster. It is worth the expense, I think, because we do not want it crashing. Yes. It is worth the expense, and that's part of why we raised the money. There we go. Okay. Now, that also is going to give us a massive boost to our park value. Yeah, look at that. Instant massive boost to our park value. So I'm not going to do that for every ride because I do want to keep that in my back pocket. Are there any problems right now aside from running out of cash? Not really. Okay, good. I want to go on something more thrilling than Syl's box. Listen, I don't know what could be more thrilling. I do not know what could be more thrilling than getting into this ride and being inside a box. I really don't know what could be more thrilling than that. Now, gamers, we're gonna have some fun with colors. So the 9 colors that we chose to make our ride, we are now also going to paint this fence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is gonna be tough, isn't it? Because I don't want to change it all the time, right? 2, 3, 4. You know what might help, actually? I know it's on here. Doing it again. Something else that is cool that you can do in this game is cutaway view. And I haven't figured out how to do it, but it basically, this would have helped us out a lot in Dinky Park because it lets you just like cut off any layer that's like underneath the height that you set. And that would have really helped us when we were building Dinky Park, but I didn't know we could do it then. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1. Well, frankly, I know we're getting rid of part of the box temporarily so that it lines up with the rest of the box. There you go. Start back on color mode. Park with the best toilet facilities in the country. That's good. That means I have like 1 toilet for every like 40-something guests or something, which is good. What is our soft guest cap actually? Are we getting more guests or are we like at it? Yeah, we're like at the soft guest cap. So before we do this, we need to build more rides. So, let's build one of those Ferris wheels we just got. In fact, let's build multiple. We're gonna build like a little... We're gonna build like 4 in here, maybe? And we're gonna build the exits over here. We're gonna build the entrances all back here. Trust me, I have a plan. All according to Keikaku. We're gonna build 4 or 5. We're not charging for any of them. They're just here. This is gonna help our park value. And more importantly, it's gonna look really pretty. We'll assign 1 mechanic to all 5 of these. Don't even worry about it. So. It's all accessible. Just add them to that one handyman's queue. And then I'm going to need to build... Oop, 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 oop. My fault. There we go. Accidentally minimized the program, so that made it look really awful for a second. Okay. So now we need to build a path around these Ferris wheels that guests can use to access all of them. So I'll do this. Not that, one more. And like this, so that each of them can have a queue line. And then we're gonna go right back around. Oh, I guess I could test all of them, I suppose. We're not charging for any. Nope. Okay, good. We're gonna hire a new mechanic just for this, and we're gonna name him Ferris Wheel Mechanic. They do kind of look like a can of Pringles. I see it. This is gonna be Ferris Wheel Park, and if I ever gain if I ever gain access to abstract theming, it's so Jover. Probably open them all. Oh right, nobody can access any of them. Oops, 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 oops. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Please hold. Forgot to build the entrance paths. Oops. No, I wanted you to go. I wanted you to go straight. I wanted you to go straight with the rest of them. No, no. Hello? No. What? Huh? What the? Okay. While I figure out these pathing issues, let me not accidentally drown any guests. Don't come back here. Okay, it's not ready. You can come back here when it's ready. Get out of here, all of you guests. You'll see that there's nothing to ride and you'll leave. Good. I don't want to delete and redo paths and then, like, drown these guests. I don't want to do that. Go away. Go away. Okay, good. Because I want it to be, like, in a nice little straight line. Why are you doing that? I have a thought. Oh, we have a maze available? Perfect. I have a thought. Boom. Then we're just gonna turn you into a cube path. Like, so. Why did you do that? Okay, this should fix it. Sometimes this game's a little weird. I know they can't access Ferris Wheel 2. I understand. Okay. Go away. And go away. Okay. Now guests can access my Ferris wheels. Look at that, all pretty. We're gonna do my true plan with them in like 2 seconds. First, I need to get mechanics and handymen and like benches, bins, etc. all up in here. I wonder how guests would decide, which of these 5 Ferris wheels they would go on. Increased our soft guest cap quite a bit. That's what I truly wanted, so that we would have more money. And then, easy for you. We're gonna name you Ferris Wheel Row. Do not head to Sill's box for an inspection. I don't want that. Okay? The different guy is gonna do that. It's not your job. See through vegetation, please. Okay. Do the trick. Oh, well, he's inspecting Sill's box. I mean, I'm glad, I guess, but I didn't need you to do that, buddy. You, however, can expand to cover Sill's box. Are y'all seeing this? What is happening? There we go. Green, guys, hello? Get out! What is the problem here? I literally do not understand. Go to Ferris wheel row. Yeah, I don't... I mean, the other guests seem to be able to move around them, but, like, these guys are gonna be very unhappy because they're stuck here for no reason. We're gonna have to keep an eye on that. Get a new guy who's patrolling this area. So now, if any of these Ferris wheels break down, there's a mechanic, nice and handy. We're gonna put some more food stalls back here. Make it a nice little proper area. Our pizza, sorry, that is just what this park has. Soft guest crap increased to more than we have. We've got that arrow going up saying that we're getting more guests. Good, good, good. Food, drinks, and bathroom. I mean, what else could you need, really? Sit really badly. There we go, that's better. Food, drink, and bathroom. There it is. Okay. Park rating's getting close to the max. Let's see what our park value is. 181, okay. So we're at the beginning of year 2, and we're actually very close to our goal. But like I've said before, gamers, park value can go up and down. Now here's what else I wanted to do with these. I wanted to create a beautiful pattern. So... Okay. Nice. Okay. None of these rides by themselves are anything crazy in terms of stats. But, you know, when you put a bunch of them together and we have the money to do that, they look really nice. Or do we want to go, like, pastel and then... Ooh, that might make the change even more striking. No. That's actually the way it was. This was my true plan all along, gamers. Almost there. Wait, I think I want to do red, yellow... Damn it. This is gonna have to be green rover. Because I built 5, not 6. I could have built 6, but... You know, 5 Ferris wheels! Perfectly fine. 6 Ferris wheels? It's too many. I think guests would have complained about Ferris wheel 6. I'm just saying anything. Sometimes that's what streaming is, gamers. You just say things. I'm glad you're choosing to spend part of your wonderful Sunday afternoon, nighttime, if you're across the ocean, with me here. I will spend the rest of my Sunday afternoon, once I'm done streaming, working on my MC project, and also reading my book outside, because I know, you know, a lot of the country, Allie just mentioned, a lot of the country is experiencing extremely cold temperatures. Very fortunately, that's not the case in our neck of the woods. It's actually been incredibly warm. So, we have been enjoying that. I know, MC project. It is getting there. I'm 70% of the way done with my footage. Um, Look at that arrow going up. Oh, we are doing great with this part, gamers. The arrow going up means that you are getting an influx of guests, which because we built all of these, we, like, forcibly increased our soft guest cap, and so now guests have just been flooding into the place, which is making us money, which is great. Look at that. This was my ultimate plan, gamers. There we are. Okay. Are guests worried about anything? They feel sick. They're kind of running out of cash, but not really. We're doing pretty good. Let's take a look at our card value calculator. See if there's any problems we need to be aware of. Nope. We're doing good. Okay. The maximum rating that you can have is like in the code is something like 1200, but the maximum that it will display is of course 99. Now that we've done this, we can build multicolored no entry signs to keep people out of our exit paths. Fortunately, your staff will ignore these signs. Unfortunately, in order to make guests obey them, they do have to be that red text when you click this button. Otherwise, even if I literally write no entry, guests can't read. Obviously, that would be really really hard to program. Guests literally cannot read. That's not even just me insulting them. So we have to make it click on the function so that they actually will respect the no entry sign. What is being researched right now? Water tricycles for the boat hire. Okay. What's our park value? 182. Good. So we're doing pretty good for midway, slightly under midway through this scenario. No, literally, guests are like that, except if the sign says no entry, then they suddenly can read. Good. Y'all aren't getting stuck anymore. I'm watching you. Okay, we're gonna go back to coloring these for a minute. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna end up being wrong at least once, but 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The guests are programmed rather stupidly on the book. Are they doing it again? Okay, no, good. Okay. The guests are programmed rather stupidly on the boats, so the boat hire can be a very cheap ride for you to build. Ooh, do I want to convert this to water tricycles, actually? I might. Make these water tricycles. I hope they don't get stuck. Let's give it a try. That's the case. We can just do the standard 6. But before I do all of that, let me make sure that these don't get stuck. Oh, they seem to be doing all right. Okay. Gonna do just what we did with Ferris wheels. It's all colorful. And I'm gonna build a maze. We're gonna keep this park value going. Look at that. We've got these colorful tricycles. And they're going. Oh no! Don't get stuck on each other. Ferris wheels. You know, no, it's not really my jam, but I am excited for everyone else that is seems to be very excited about it. Um, I've heard of it. I don't think that'll be me playing it. but it does look very cute, and I'm excited for everybody who's excited about it. So we're gonna start over with our color scheme. Should be a little easier to keep track of. 1, 2, 3. I've never been like a. This is as close to The Sims, I think, as I'm gonna get. I've never really been like a Sims-ish person, and to me, that game feels a lot like The Sims. But yeah, I can see how very fun and hilarious shenanigans would ensue in an environment like that. Okay, the tricycles seem to be less of a problem than the bumper boats, which is good. The guests have plenty of room to move around. In fact, none of them are even really going over here. But I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it the way that it is. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I will just. Now, do not take this as an opportunity to go out of the box in the meantime, guests, okay? I'm not saving your asses again. Right, get out of here. Now it really is Syl's box. Why am I right-clicking on these and they're not going anywhere? Can I please get rid of the railings? Can I please? I don't need these here anymore. I don't want to obstruct the ducks. There, okay. Okay, back in painter's mode. They seem to be having a jolly good time. A lot of the time they're staying really close to the station and they're kind of bumping onto each other a little bit, but there is enough room that there doesn't seem to be a huge traffic jam. So things are going okay. Yeah, there we go. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1. Okay. All right, let's see how well we did. Eventually we'll get it. You all do not need to stay like 2 micrometers away from the station. I promise it's going to be all right. If you venture out into the world, it's going to be okay. This is going to look really pretty when it's done, and it's going to be worth the effort of doing it. Does it increase our park value? No, but we're not really in a state where we need to be paying extra close attention to that right now. We have almost perfect park rating, and things are going well for us. At the moment, I'll clarify, things can go south very quickly in this game. Keep doing that with my neck. I don't know why I keep doing that. It's a bad habit. I think we did pretty good. Oh, gamers. Oh, this is worth it. Oh, I missed a spot. Last time. The green. Oh, I'm in build mode. No, I want to be in paint mode. There. Oh, this ended up really pretty. Syl's box was always going to be a rainbow. There was no reality in which it wasn't going to be one. Did we count properly the entire time? I'm more surprised at us doing that than anything else. Did I do it? I might have. Look at that. It's gorgeous. And look, the trikes are not getting stuck on each other. They're actually exploring the box. Good job, guests. I didn't do anything for our park value. I just like it. Okay. Ooh, Spinning Wild Mouse is being developed. That's always a good ride. Yeah, see, our park value does drop a little bit just as our rides depreciate and get older. So we have been refurbishing and we'll continue to do so. But 118 people on ride. It's crazy. I wonder if we could get away with adding another train. Because, like, where are the trains on the track? Got one there. We got one here. We got two here. We got one here. I think it's alright. Guests aren't really complaining about it yet. Yeah, they're not complaining about it. Let's see. We're right at the 2-hour mark. It might go for 2.5 today. The weather's so nice that it's tempting me. Okay, where else can we expand? Everything seems to be going swimmingly since we refurbished these rides and got a huge park value boost. Guests don't really use transport rides as transport rides. That would be a cool feature to add to Open RCT if possible. Guests just use transport rides as rides. I haven't built a twist yet. Let's do that. It's an easy thing to build. You can even go right here next to the park entrance. Boom, boom, done. As long as we keep building, we'll be in great shape. Spinning Wild Mouse is available now. That's exactly right. This guy only has these two rides to look after. He's going to get another. Good. Boom. Easy peasy. This particular one, and I think it's because it's right next to the entrance, seems to be getting a lot of foot traffic, so we're just gonna do that. Okay. Soft guest cap increased, except we're already at it, so we need to keep building if we want this part to expand. We got plenty of money, and most of our rides are free, so we're doing good in the money department because we're getting so many guests. I do want there to at some point be like a fun railroad crossing that we play with. I'm trying to figure out where the best area to build that would be. Probably here. I just want to see the railroad crossing feature in action. In fact, maybe we can build a wild mouse back here. Depending on how big it is. Not so. Well. Maybe? Well, we'll think about it. What other rides do we have? Yeah, I thought so. That's another challenge with this park. Let's see. Ooh, a maze. Let's make our own maze again, gamers. That was fun last time we did this. I'm going to intentionally build this. It's going to be very compact. And I'm going to intentionally build this so that people have to go over the... Oh, oops. Okay. Are any of the mechanics on the case? Okay, good. Alright. I want to be able to cross the train track for something. I'm going to have to build up a little bit. Okay. So first, gamers, we're going to build the critical path. Build the entrance right here. And then we're going to... Not that. Oops. What? Okay. Okay. There we go. So now we're going to build the critical path to make sure this thing is actually solvable. Gonna make it twist a little bit. Damn. Ran into a problem. There we go. Okay. Oops. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna have to go this way and just kind of stay on this layer. And the exit right here. And now, can we build to that? Yeah, we can. Okay. And now, we will fill in the rest of the maze with various dead ends, paths that don't go anywhere. Here. But we know there is one critical path because we built it, so we know that this maze is in fact solvable. I'm just going to be a little mean to the guests and make it harder for them to figure out. Why make it solvable? Because if I don't, guests will never get out of my ride. Keep them lost forever. Yeah, that's what they get for being dumb. I do like your spirit. You're finally learning to hate guests as much as a real RCT player. There we go. Oh, that'll do, I think. So now let's make sure we build paths to it. The maze can never break down, fun fact about this game, so we don't need to worry about a mechanic. And now we're gonna build our fun little railroad crossing. Are we ready? Woo! Not Shari. I don't care about Shari. Woo! Railroad crossing! Nice. Build a queue line for our maze. Good. And we'll open it. There, just for Barnabas. Soft guest cap increased, but again, it's more guests than we have. We'll get a new handyman to keep an eye on our railroad crossing. But yeah, we'll wait for the train to come around so that we can see how this railroad crossing really works. It's so cool. Hear it? Okay. Here comes the train. Y'all see it? Here, I'll turn off vegetation to make it easier to see. Now watch. Guests will stop and let the train go through. Look at that! Isn't that cool? That's a new Open RCT feature. You absolutely could not do that before. It would be like Railroad 1 in the way or whatever. Park value at 172, so it's gone down quite a bit. Up and down and up and down. That's the thing with park value. We'll probably need to build another roller coaster, and/or we do have the money to refurbish something. Oh, yeah, we are refurbishing this. Holy shit. Okay. We need to refurbish you? Probably. And while we're doing that, I'm going to add a couple more boats, actually. Should have given us an instant boost to the park value. Yep, I'm just keeping that in my back pocket for if we're a little bit short of the goal, so I have not been doing everything at once. It also means rides will break down less frequently, which is always good. Let's see. What else can we do? And where? Syl's box is doing well. They're not getting stuck anymore. That. I hate when they do that because it's technically on the queue path, and so then it just doesn't get removed. There we go. Oh, goodness. Is it at 9 and 9? Almost. Back in the frame. I'm sliding back into the frame. Just checking where I was. Ooh, an observation tower. Excellent. Okay. Have an idea. It's a little ambitious. But I think together we can do it, gamers. I really do. Okay. First off, how big is the observation tower? 3 by 3? Okay. But we're also going to need to leave some room for the entrance and exit. So we need to get the entrance and exit down to that level too. Sorry, trees, I'm making you invisible again. We're just gonna bury it into the hill a little bit. That's all. Give it some, like, visual interest here. Entrance, exit, don't worry about it. We'll build paths while she's testing. Yep. Sorry, trees. You do keep making it hard for me to see what I am doing. That'll do the trick. And now... Yep. And... Oops. Go. And we're going to make sure that it's got a handyman and a mechanic. By the way, dude, clean that up. I'll make sure the mechanic is taking care of this ride also. Syl's box is broken down. Oh no. How did it break down? Did the guest get stuck again? There we go. We're technically over the goal, but we did not turn on scenario early complete. I don't believe in that, at least not on stream. We've still got quite a ways to expand. There's this whole area of the park that just has not, that doesn't have anything in it. And I bet we could do something about that. Give the train something to look at. I bet we could build something right here. Let's see what roller coasters we have access to. I already got the loopings. You know, we do have a lot of coasters. I don't think we yet have a dinghy slide. That's a proper water slide. Queue line might be a little long, but we'll get there when we get there. Queue line TVs do make guests more willing to wait. We're literally cocoa meloning, giving them the cocoa melon treatment. They make guests a lot more willing to wait. Imagine you're sitting down and, like, God decides to build a new road, like, where you're sitting. That's what just happened to those guys. Good. Is it ready for business? Sure is. Open up. This also gives us room to expand back here. Soft guest crap increased to slightly more than we have. So now we're finally keeping up with the soft guest gap. Yeah, God didn't want you to go right there, I suppose. Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Oh, I'm sorry. You want to do us on something more exciting than Demon Drop? Oh, yeah, you're gonna be a big little baby? Yeah, well. do want a bathroom back here. I am representing... I'm representing the piss girls in this argument. I often have to pee, and I find myself frustrated with the lack of available public facilities with which to do so. Oh, probably. Yeah, there they are. I'm not thirsty. I'm not hungry. I know you don't like that, Allie. I don't like it either. Like, sorry that you might not be hungry in this exact moment. Other people might be, though. Did you know other people exist? And I kept, like, we're still going on that park value. Um, doing good. I would like different scenery to work with, but I don't have that, so we can build some stuff. We can make our park a little bit prettier. We can make our park a little prettier. Go to park. Don't you know that I specifically am not hungry? Specifically me, and I am, of course, the main character in this park. I don't think we're going to be allowed to mess with this land too much, so maybe we can just kind of continue the terracing up here. No, literally, and you're so right, Allie. I wasn't going to say it, but you were making me think of that. Like, okay, well, or like, in grad school, I used to have friends who were vegans, and it's like, oh, we're all eating vegan, and it's like, no, we're not. I mean, I'm going to make sure that there's something here for you to eat, but like, I'm not. No. I'm eating vegans. No, I am not. You did not. That is fake news. We're gonna put a nice rainbow terraced flower bed in here, as we've done, I'm pretty sure, in every park we've played on stream so far. Um, I can't drag, damn. Well. It rains enough in this scenario that this park will continue to look good. I'm not wasting any of my handyman manpower on this one because handyman can't actually climb, so I would have to do like 6 different handymen whose sole job is watering this garden, and I'm just not doing that. We do have money, alright, but let's not be hasty. We need that to expand our park. And yeah, we're doing green flowers. Why not? I'll have to ask Fruitine about that. I'm sure she's seen it. Oh, this looks even better than I dreamed in my head when I started building this. I need there to be color in this park. I like this park, but there's not a whole lot of color in it. Aw. Well, some ideas I do get from other players, like the terraced flower beds. But I've just been playing this game for a long time, and I think the longer you play it, the more you'll get familiar with like the tools that there are in the game. See, look at that. It's gorgeous. The more you'll get familiar with the tools that there are in the game, and the more you'll get familiar with like what is possible. Damn, I can't build this on a slope. Can I build this on a slope? I can. Alright, let's get like that. Yeah, ride's in the way. That's alright. You know what I think we're gonna do? I think we're actually going to make this dirt underneath it because it's flower beds. And I think we're gonna put in some nice brick. So we're in painter mode. We're not in land moving mode. There we go. Oh, this looks lovely. Part of why I like doing these streams is because I want to show y'all, if you want to play this game, that there are so many possibilities with this game. So see, I just literally painted the land a different color. So that looks really, really pretty. Y'all know I miss my beloved abstract theme. But well, that's him. Oh, did we not assign anybody here yet? I don't think we did. Oops. Oop. We literally have the money, so there is no reason not to do this. I also have not assigned a mechanic back here yet. So there's no reason not to hire a new one. We have the money. Okay. You know what? Just to be sure. Ooh. You are not heading to Gripples. You're staying here. Hey? Where's our value looking? 224. Okay. You know, we did run out of loss for a while when we were, and look, we're still making quite a lot of money off of those two roller coasters. That they're only things in the park that we're charging for. We're still making quite a bit of money from them. Um, you can see for a while we were making quite a bit more from ride ticket prices. Um, it's interesting that we're running at a loss, though. We're just burning through our cash reserves, I suppose. We could probably stand to charge more for the park entrance at this point in time. Let's do that. Let's charge more for the park entrance. Probably bump it up to 35. Guest spawn with... I want to spawn with 70. Since we're at the soft guest cap, new guests are not spawning very frequently, and so that's part of why we're losing money, is that we just aren't spawning new guests very frequently because we're already at the soft guest cap. At least I'm pretty sure. Not that. Not that. This one. Yeah, we're actually above the soft guest cap. So new guest generation is going to be cut by a quarter. Any, like, problems in our park? I need to go to the bathroom. There's plenty of bathrooms here. You're right next to one. It's probably fine. Okay. I want to stream for a little bit longer. Let's see how our little railroad crossing in our maze is going. Ooh, that's a full queue line. I did forget to, well, next people on ride 16? No, that's about right. Okay. It is solvable. Guests are getting out of it. I wish we had, like, a balloon stall. We don't. I could change the color of the umbrellas that we're selling. And then, because I'm a benevolent god, I'll lower the price to 15. Which is a reasonable price to pay for an umbrella, I think. Let's go blue. Ooh. I would love to do one of those. You spawned in with how much? 60. Okay. Let's see, what can we build over here? I don't think we have a pirate ship yet. You can't really build a pirate ship army like you can a Ferris wheel army like that because you can't put the entrance on the sides of it like you can with the Ferris wheel. Which sucks. But I can do something else. I have an idea. Because the entrances have to go like that. But can build the ships themselves right next to each other. And go like this. So let's test them. Let's build our pads. 2. Ah. Then I could probably build a third on this same line of ships. Sure, it's in line with them. Resource off guest cap again. And it just looks cool. Have all these ships here. Yep, 1335, which is more than we have. Once again, we'll assign a guy, we'll assign a mechanic. Take care of it all. Okay. Good. Of course. So it's gonna be blue. Beautiful. And this one. Ooh, I like that better. Classic wooden roller coaster. Oh, gamers. I think this means eventually it might be time for the classic roller coaster that I have built and have saved in this game. Yeah, I like that better. And then this can be... Yeah, there we go. Except did I do it backwards on the other one on accident? I might have. There we go. I want them all to look uniform, and I think I did it backwards on this one. Yeah, I did. Okay. So the car is fine, but this is backwards. There we go. Okay. Helped our park value too. Again, we ran at a loss last month. Because we built all those rides. What is cooking up? You know what I'd like to cook up? Some sceneries. That'd be cool. You queuing for Demon Drop for ages. I anticipated that. Well, I made the queue line shorter. That should help. Okay. Boats still aren't stuck. We finally figured it out. I need to go to the bathroom. I thought I had enough bathrooms. There's one everywhere you freaking look in this park. Not that. Yep, every time that we build a new ride, we get the little arrow because our soft guest cap is increasing, which means that more guests are flooding to the park, which means we get more money. But the soft guest cap is like just barely higher than what we have, and then all of those guests come immediately, and then we have the same problem again. I don't think there's a haunted house in this park. Let's do it again. How big is the haunted house? 3 by 3? Just like the tower? Okay. Okay, we need there to be enough flat path on the other side to make this work. I think so. I dropped these too far, I might have. Well, underground inside view is not helping. There. It's below. One up. And here. Yep. Okay. Like that it's buried and that the cue line just kind of pops up. And of course, don't want our dear little guests getting lost. I'll go in there. That's an exit path. Yep. Okay. We'll open it. And then there should be a mechanic nearby we can assign it to. And then flatten that a little bit. Working with our landscape rather than against it. Let's see. Well, these pine trees are plentiful. Let's build other kinds of trees around our little area. Can't build these on sloped areas, but I'm searching out the flat parts. Okay. I like that. And then the final touch. Put it on painter mode again. There we go. That's pretty. Well, we're right at the beginning of year 3. This will be a nice warm-up for us for next time. I think I'm about ready to be done streaming, so thank you all so much for coming. I really appreciate it every single time. And we'll be back next time to finish out this park. We're doing great on the park value, so we'll be here next time to finish out the park, and I'll try to pick a different scenario for us to do. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.